With its cutting-edge technology and immersive gaming experiences, Sony PlayStation has become a powerful rival in the rapidly changing gaming industry, drawing in millions of players from across the globe. But with competitors like Microsoft and Nintendo becoming more powerful, the question arises, can Sony PlayStation maintain its position as the top-selling gaming console? So, this video delves deeply into the dynamics of the console wars and examines the variables that have influenced Sony's sustained dominance in the gaming industry. 30 years have passed since the Sony PlayStation originally launched some of the most well-known video game franchises. And Jim Ryan, the president and CEO of Sony Interactive Entertainment, plans to retire in March 2024. In 1994, he started working there when the PlayStation made its debut in Japan. A year later, in 1995, the gaming console made its way to the United States. Before the launch, there was considerable uncertainty. We were moving into a space that had two pretty entrenched occupants, Nintendo and Sega, Ryan said. Sean Layden, former chairman of Sony Interactive Entertainment Worldwide Studios, attributes the PlayStation's early success to a collaborative partnership between Sony Music and Sony Electronics. However, after some time, PlayStation 2 debuted in 2000, and based on company financial statements, the PlayStation 2 continues to be the best-selling video game console of all time, having sold over 155 million units. Ryan said, "We went into markets where video gaming had never really been a thing. So in Southern Europe, for example, Italy and Spain and places like the Middle East, we established a gaming culture where none had existed. However, there have been bumps in the PlayStation's 30-year history, and the future is still unknown." Most recently, Microsoft's $69 billion acquisition of Activision Blizzard posed a significant challenge to Sony's long-established gaming sector. Watch the video to find out more about the Sony PlayStation and to find out what the firm plans to do moving forward. Since its launch, the Sony PlayStation has completely changed the video game industry by raising the bar for creativity, visuals, and gameplay. Sony, the maker of the legendary PlayStation 2, PlayStation 3, and PlayStation 4, has always produced excellent gaming experiences that appeal to gamers of all ages. The PlayStation brand has solidified its position as the best-selling gaming console around the world by becoming synonymous with reliability, quality, and an extensive library of exclusive titles. The Xbox from Microsoft and the Switch from Nintendo are Sony PlayStation's two primary competitors in the very competitive gaming console market. Each company competes for market share and customer loyalty by utilizing unique game titles, collaborative efforts, and innovative hardware. In the past few years, there has been a greater intensity in the console wars as companies compete to surpass one another in terms of gaming ecosystem, performance, and features. Despite its unmatched success in the game console industry, Sony PlayStation still has a number of obstacles and chances in front of it. One of the key challenges is maintaining momentum amidst shifting consumer preferences and technological advancements. Sony also has to deal with the challenges posed by worldwide supply chain interruptions and chip shortages, which have affected the availability and production of consoles. Sony announced that it had sold 50 million PlayStation 5s almost as quickly as the previous generation of the console, overcoming long-standing supply issues to outsell Microsoft's Xbox by nearly 3-1 in 2023. The COVID-19 pandemic caused disruptions in the hardware supply, but in recent years, there have also been delays in the development of some major games. Game creators grappled with production challenges as offices were closed, though many of those games finally saw the light of day in 2023. It was dubbed a vintage year by many critics and gamers for both big-budget and small independent releases, such as Hogwarts Legacy, the Harry Potter spin-off, and Baldur's Gate 3. However, 161 weeks after the PS5's release on December 9th, Sony claimed to have reached the 50 million sales milestone. This is compared to the 160 weeks it took the PS4 to get to the same place following its launch. There was a lot of pent-up demand for PS5, so when the supply came in, Sony broke all records in the first quarter of this year, said Piers Harding-Rolls, head of games research at Ampere. However, Microsoft hasn't released official Xbox sales data in several years. While Microsoft made headlines this year with its battle to complete its $75 billion acquisition of Call of Duty maker Activision Blizzard, its Xbox hardware has fallen to third position behind Sony and Nintendo. However, estimates show that in 2023, PS5 sales increased by almost 65% to 22.5 million units, whereas the most recent Xbox had a 15% decline in sales to 7.6 million units. Microsoft had its own supply problems for the more expensive Xbox Series X model in the first half of this year, Harding-Rolls added, while its flagship titles Redfall and Halo Infinite have also struggled. Despite the obstacles, Sony PlayStation is well-positioned to maintain its supremacy in the game console market. With the much-awaited PlayStation 5 debut and a strong lineup of exclusive games, Sony manages to enthrall players and grow its user base. Furthermore, Sony has new opportunities to innovate and set itself unique in the game industry thanks to developments in virtual reality and cloud gaming technology. In conclusion, the Sony PlayStation has long been the pinnacle of the game console industry. It has strengthened its position as the best-selling gaming console with its potent hardware, cutting-edge features, and recognizable game titles. But can the Sony PlayStation be able to hold on its lead as rivals enter the market and technology advances? Yes, I think it can. Sony PlayStation has a promising future in the game console industry, but there will be difficulties along the way. To maintain its position as the best-selling gaming system, Sony needs to remain adaptable, creative, and customer-focused as competition increases and technology advances continue to change the gaming industry. So what are your thoughts on Sony PlayStation's future? Don't forget to fill up the comments section below with your thoughts.